One thing that's been under extreme scrutiny this year, the quarterback push play. And the belief had been, well, maybe they screwed up by not getting rid of it after the 2022 season. Maybe they should have, because it seems like there's only one team that can do it right, the Philadelphia Eagles. Nobody else can, and all you need is 24 votes to take that rule back out of the rule book. Used to be in the rule book, you can't push a runner from behind. Went out of the rule book. 15 years after it went out of the rule book, the Eagles say, oh, hey, well, we got something here, and they're the ones who have perfected it. The Cowboys tried it on Monday night, and it didn't work. So Jerry Jones is surely against the quarterback push play. Here he is from yesterday on 105.3 The Fan.
Well, I was surprised. I'm all for it, and I like to play. I think Dak is an excellent sneaker, and I was just surprised that we were stopped. No, I'm okay with it. Okay. I like to play. I think there's a place for the play. I'm all for implementing the emphasis on the scrum, the traditional scrum that you normally think that the NFL and football in general and college is trying to avoid. That doesn't bother me as much on this play.
Don't call it a scrum, Jerry. The rugby people are going to come out and say it's a maul. Yeah. It's not a scrum, it's a maul. But I'm surprised. Because it's a strategic advantage for the Eagles. They have perfected it. No one else has. Very easy to put together 24 votes to get rid of it. When you have one of the most influential owners siding with his rival, the team he plays twice a year, the team he might see a third time in the playoffs, and they have that automatic 1 yard whenever they need it, that surprises me, and it makes me wonder, Charean, can they muster what would be 24 out of 30 now owners to say get rid of it, because 2 are in favor of keeping it, and all it takes is 9, a block of 9, to block any rule change that the owners would be contemplating.
Yeah, I don't know what the Eagles statistics are this year, but they were 37 of 41 last year. So the competition committee last year reviewed it, discussed it, didn't put anything up for a vote. And I think they didn't put anything up for a vote, Mike, have a proposal, because I don't think they had the 24 votes. And I don't know that they have the 24 votes this year. So I think this is something that they'll discuss again. They are discussing again. And I'm not sure it can pass, though. So I'm not sure we'll ever see a proposal on this.
The argument against it is it's ugly. It's not a football play. It doesn't look good. It seems unfair because only one team can perfect it. And I guess I respect the fact that the other owner's attitude is, hey, we got to get our teams to do it too if we're going to use it. But it enhances offensive play. That's the main reason that it would stay. It keeps drives going. That's what the NFL wants. Yards, points, excitement. The games this year have been lower scoring than, and I know they've been lower scoring because I'm not getting an email every week from the league office bragging about how high scoring the games are. That's how we know they're high scoring. 345 Park Avenue is constantly banging on our email inbox with statements and declarations of how many points have been scored. Not this year, so they want to keep drives moving. The problem is the Eagles are the only ones who know how to keep the drives moving. And even though they're discussing it now, folks, one thing to remember, they would never change it midstream. This is the foundation for what would happen in March. The NFL very, very, very rarely would consider doing anything to change rules during a season because there's an integrity to the full season. We've gone 6 weeks allowing this. We're not going to pull the plug on this play a third of the way into the season. So it's here to stay for the rest of the year. The question is, Charean, do they have the votes in March of 24? And your instinct and your read on it seems to be they don't. And I wish they did, but it looks like we're just going to have to get used to it, and the other teams that aren't doing it well are going to have to figure out, number one, how to do it better, and number two, how to better defend it when we play the Eagles.
I think the only thing that changes, Mike, where we might get the 24 votes is if we have a ton of injuries, especially to big-name players off of this play. And the Giants had 2 earlier this year in that game against Seattle, that Monday night game. They lost 2 players on the push play on the same play. So if we have a big-name player, multiple players go out on this play, they love citing those injury numbers. Hey, 25% of, more injuries on this play than other plays, et cetera, et cetera. If they can do that and cite some injury numbers, then I think some owners maybe who are against changing it come around and say, you know what, this is a dangerous play. But I think first they have to determine that it's a dangerous play before anything happens. I don't think otherwise it's going to pass.
And that dovetails with some of the commentary that has popped up about that play, because the reality is, and Peter King flagged this back in the offseason when he was trying to use his platform, his voice to try to get people to realize there's a lot of risk here. There's risk to the quarterback. One of the ways to defend it is you've created an incentive. Incentives and probabilities. Those are the things that make the world go round. You've created an incentive to take a free shot at the quarterback. And there are ways to word that. As Robert Saleh did last week, we have to give him 11 kisses because he knows you're not going to come out and say it's open season on the quarterback when he decides to become the equivalent of Walter Payton back in the day, although nobody's jumping over the pile, but you're the runner. When you're the runner, you have very limited protections against physical contact. And, the reality is Jalen Hurts knows how to avoid it. He knows how to slip through the cracks. He's got that Tom Brady quality. Remember how Tom Brady used to just slip through the opening unexpectedly, even though you should have expected it to get a first down or a touchdown from 1 yard away? So that's part of it too, though. If a quarterback gets injured seriously on that play, that's when all of a sudden the narrative may change. Because, look, we had 5 quarterbacks injured on Sunday. We're going to have some games like this weekend in Chicago. It's not going to be Jimmy Garoppolo against Justin Fields. We don't know that for sure yet, but it sure looks like it's going to be Aiden O'Connell against Tyson Bagent. We don't want backup quarterbacks, especially in standalone primetime games. So you're right. Injuries, but specifically, if the defenses, which will never speak about it publicly, but privately they're talking about it, what can they do on that play to disrupt the quarterback in a way that would get that team to stop using that play? Once that happens that's when things may change.
You remember Troy Polamalu had that play down where he timed up the snap and went right over and just destroyed the quarterback or running back or whoever it was on those short yardage plays. I'm surprised someone hadn't tried that. And if they do try that, I think that's when you start to see some of these injuries, and then you start to see the NFL and the competition committee go, well, maybe not. This play has gotten pretty dangerous.
Dallas Goedert, the Eagles tight end, said earlier this year, that's the only way to stop it. Somebody's got to do it, Troy Polamalu. So your instincts are right on the money. The Eagles already know that's one of the things they have to worry about. And when you look at how the play unfolds, it's also low to the ground. It's kind of impervious to somebody flying over the top. Somebody flies over the top, what are they going to do? The maul has gone right past him as he flew over the top. So it's kind of one of those things that it's so ugly, people are starting to see the beauty in it. And maybe there is. Even though it doesn't look like the kind of football play we're used to seeing, shotgun formation, no. Just a mass clot of bodies. But if Jerry likes it, which surprised me, it's going to be harder and harder to get to the 24 votes to make it go away. That's going to be a big topic in the offseason, or maybe it won't be a topic at all. Maybe it just fizzles out and people just accept the fact that it's here to stay. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.